a significant amount of snow has already begun to impact the United States, driven by an Alberta Clipper that recently moved through the northern region. We experienced a few light snow showers in parts of mid-northern Georgia yesterday. Later in January, we might see snow reach as far south as Mobile and Dothan, Alabama. Additionally, temperatures should drop to about 20 along beaches like Gulf Shores, Alabama and Destin, Florida. As we transition from March to June, we may experience a very active tornado season. The rearrangement of atmospheric conditions is likely to contribute this heightened tornado activity. Until then, we must navigate through this very busy winter. So in today's forecast, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know about this winter and the very active tornado season just ahead. But right now, I want to go ahead and take a look at our jet stream, as this is what will be driving all of these snow and storms to reach into the United States. So starting off right now, we have the jet stream sort of angling down towards the southeast. As we move on into tomorrow and then Saturday, we have this right here. As you can see right here, this is what will cause most of that snow to head down into the southeast as we get on into the 18th, which it sort of starts to fall apart. So that won't be the biggest threat for winter weather for the southeast. Let's see if we can find it right about... As we move on into the 24th and 25th, nothing too crazy continues to happen except for this massive amount of colder air to sort of move into the United States. But right here could bring some snow all across this region, some colder temperatures down here in the southeast, which we could see temperatures below freezing, even in parts of Florida as we move on into Thursday, January 29th. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at our total snowfall rates, which this means that all of this snow will not be falling at the same period of time. This is all of the snow that we could see leading all the way up to Thursday, January 29th. So starting off right now, this is what it is looking like. Some snow just really continues to start forming up in the northeast. A lot of this will be driven by some lake effect snow around the Great Lakes, the UP of Michigan, areas like that. We could see some snow start to form up in parts of southern Georgia as we move on into Sunday, January 18th. Some snow up in West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee. Snow just continues to really sort of build up in the northeastern parts of the United States. But then nothing too crazy happens as we move on into Friday, January 23rd. All the snow continues to stay up in the northern parts of the United States, which is where the snow normally occurs. So that's really not that much of a surprise. Some snow starts to build up more towards the Pacific Northwest, which could actually, in fact, see up to 100 plus inches of snowfall as we move on into February 8th. But as we move on into Monday, January 26th, this is all the snow that we're going to be seeing. Snow really starts to build up in parts of the Northeast, Pacific Northwest. As those colors get lighter, you can tell that it sort of starts to build up more and just increases the rates of how much snow we could be seeing. As we move on into more of Tuesday, January 27th, we have some snow start to build up in parts of Arkansas and Missouri, even moving into northwestern parts of Tennessee. Which I want to go ahead and take a look at this, as we can see some snow up in northern parts of Mississippi as we move on into January 27th, around 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And as we move on into Tuesday, Wednesday, and into parts of Thursday, we could be seeing some snow in parts of northwestern Alabama, northern Mississippi, and northern Georgia. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at our temperatures, we have this massive amount of cold air hovering over parts of the eastern United States right now, which this could bring the potential for some massive colder air, which all this cold air could really just bring some dangerous wind chills as well, all the parts across the eastern United States. Some more hotter temperatures on the western side, especially up there towards northern Minnesota and into parts of Canada. Some more heat up in parts of Maine into New England. Some colder temperatures in between all the warmer temperatures up there around Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. Temperatures are decent in between parts of Texas into Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, all the way up to parts of Michigan. As we move on into later on Friday, temperatures start to come back down into parts of the Midwestern United States, which will just bring some scattered temperatures, especially in parts of the West Coast and into the Eastern and Central United States. Colder temperatures up in the Central United States, really, as we move on into Saturday. And then we have this massive amount of cold air sort of start to surge into parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Nebraska, which will bring a decent amount of snow as we move on into the Dakotas and areas. And this will be pretty dangerous if you're in the Dakotas. This may be a low threat of snow, but this could still bring dangerous wind chills and some severe ice storms. Some more heat starts to come more into the western United States while this colder air is sort of dipping southeast, and it starts to move off the eastern coast, but continues to sort of stay over more parts of the southeast, and the eastern United States gets a lot of colder air while the western side is getting a decent amount of warmer air. But as we move on into Tuesday and into Wednesday, temperatures really start to take over the western United States while colder temperatures are starting to take over the eastern United States. Around Toronto, Canada, we could be seeing temperatures below negative 30 degrees. So if you are in Toronto, Canada, as we move on into Wednesday, January 21st, make sure you are staying inside as conditions will be very dangerous no matter if you're driving or even if you're standing outside for longer than 10 minutes. However, that was all we had to talk about today. Tomorrow we will make a video going super in detailed onto this winter storm, as winter storms can be very hard to predict, especially from about 3 to 4 days out. You can click right here to subscribe to the channel that I go live on. I do go live during these severe weather events. You can click right here to subscribe to the channel that I go live on. I go live during severe weather, hurricanes, tsunamis, pretty much anything that has a major threat to the United States, or areas surrounding the United States. For example, the Jamaica hurricane. You can click right here to subscribe to the channel that I just post videos on, and you can click right here to watch my latest video. Like I said, I'll be making a video tomorrow. Sorry this video was rushed. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.